Welcome to Black America and Africa History, where we bring you stories from our past that inspire and educate us today. And tonight's episode is all about the peaceful nights of the Songhai Empire. It is said that the night is always darkest before the dawn. But have you ever noticed how beautiful the night can be? There is something magical about the tranquility of the evening, when the sun sets and the stars begin to twinkle in the sky. It's a time for rest and relaxation, a moment to unwind and reflect on the day's events. This is especially true in Africa, where the nights are filled with beauty and wonder. So, tonight, we invite you to join us on a journey through the peaceful nights of the Songhai Empire, where we will explore the culture, history and traditions of one of Africa's most powerful empires during the pre-colonial era. The Songhai Empire was a vast and powerful kingdom located in West Africa. At its peak, it stretched from the Atlantic Ocean in the west to the modern-day Niger Republic in the east, and from the Sahara Desert in the north to the Gulf of Guinea in the south. The empire was known for its wealth, power, and cultural achievements, as well as its military prowess and expansionist policies. But what many people don't know is that the Songhai also had a rich and vibrant nightlife. Imagine the bustling streets of Gao, the capital city, coming alive with music, laughter, and the chatter of people going about their evening routines. The city was known for its lively atmosphere and was a hub of trade and commerce. As the sun began to set, the streets would fill with merchants, traders and artisans who came to buy and sell their goods. The air would be filled with the scent of spices and incense as people haggled over prices and made deals. The rhythmic calls of street vendors selling everything from food to jewelry would blend with the sounds of blacksmiths working at their forges and the strumming of lutes from wandering musicians. The streets would be adorned with colorful lanterns and brightly lit shops, creating a festive atmosphere that was inviting and welcoming. It was not uncommon to see groups of friends and family members strolling along the streets, enjoying the sights and sounds of the city. They would stop to chat with neighbors, exchange news and gossip, and simply take in the ambience. In the markets, traders would gather to discuss the day's events and make plans for the next day's ventures. They would talk about the latest news from far-off lands, the prices of goods, and the best places to find rare and valuable items. The elders would share stories and wisdom with the younger generation, passing down the knowledge and traditions of their culture. The Songhai were known for their love of storytelling, and the markets were a perfect place for this to happen. The stories would often cover a range of topics, from historical tales to moral lessons and jokes. They were an integral part of Songhai culture and helped to preserve the history and values of the empire. As the night wore on, the entertainment options would become more plentiful. There were many public spaces such as courtyards, open fields, and even the riverbanks where people would gather to watch performances by acrobats, jugglers, and storytellers. The Songhai were particularly fond of music and dance, and there were many different types of musical ensembles that would perform in the evenings. These groups would play traditional instruments such as drums, flutes, and harps, and would perform a variety of styles from ceremonial music to courtly dances. Some of the most popular genres included praise songs, which were used to celebrate important events or individuals, and work songs, which were sung by laborers while they worked. The music and dance were an integral part of Songhai society, and were used to express a wide range of emotions and ideas. They were an important part of social gatherings, religious ceremonies, and political events, and were considered an essential part of the culture. The mosques and other religious buildings were also a focal point of community life in the evenings. After the prayers, the faithful would gather in the courtyards to socialize and discuss the teachings of their faith. The mosques were not just places of worship, but also served as community centers where people could come together and build relationships. The courtyard was a place where people could relax and unwind after a long day. It was not uncommon to see groups of men sitting in circles discussing a variety of topics. They would talk about religion, philosophy, politics and current events, and they would debate and discuss different viewpoints and ideas. The mosque was also a place where people could seek refuge and support. In times of need, the community would come together to help those who were sick, elderly or in need of assistance, and the courtyard was often the center of these activities. In addition to the community spaces, there were also many private homes where people would gather in the evenings. The homes of wealthy merchants and nobles were often large and spacious, and they would host parties and gatherings for their friends and family. The evenings would be filled with music, food and dancing, and it was a time for people to let loose and have fun. The Songhai were known for their love of feasting, and there were many different types of foods that were commonly eaten in the evenings. Some of the most popular dishes included grilled meats, fish and vegetables, as well as fruits and sweets. There were also many different types of drinks that were popular, including spiced teas, fruit juices, and palm wine, which was a type of alcoholic beverage made from the sap of palm trees. The food and drink were an important part of Songhai culture and were used to celebrate special occasions and to show hospitality to guests. Now, let's go back to the tranquil nights of the Songhai Empire. Picture yourself sitting on a veranda overlooking a bustling marketplace. The air is filled with the tantalizing aromas of grilled meats and exotic spices. The vibrant colors of fabrics and lanterns create a mesmerizing spectacle. As the sun begins its descent, in the distance, you hear the rhythmic chants of vendors calling out their wares. As darkness falls, the scene transforms into a magical realm illuminated by flickering candlelight and the starry expanse overhead. The sound of laughter and conversation fills the air as locals and travelers gather in the market square. They share stories and news from distant lands while sipping on refreshing beverages. Musicians begin to play, filling the night with enchanting melodies that weave tales of love, courage, and adventure. The infectious rhythms draw people into the center of the square, where they sway to the beat, and some even dare to dance. The energy is contagious, and soon everyone is lost in the music. But the festivities are not limited to the marketplaces. In the grand halls of the king's palace, a different kind of magic unfolds. The royal court comes alive with the soft glow of oil lamps, casting intricate shadows on the walls. Dignitaries and nobles, dressed in opulent attire, engage in lively discussions about trade, diplomacy, and the arts. Chess pieces click on ornate boards as scholars debate ancient texts, their voices echoing with wisdom and insight. The king, adorned with precious jewels and symbols of his power, presides over the gathering, ensuring harmony and balance within his kingdom. Outside the palace walls, life continues its nocturnal dance. Along the banks of the Niger River, fishermen cast their nets under the silver light of the moon. Their movements are fluid and graceful as they navigate the tranquil waters. On the river's edge, a storyteller captivates his audience with tales of bravery and intrigue, his voice echoing across the rippling waves. The sound of crickets and the sweet melodies of nocturnal birds provide a harmonious backdrop to the captivating narrative. The peaceful nights of the Songhai Empire were a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of its people. From the bustling marketplaces to the tranquil riverbanks, every corner teemed with life and activity. The markets were not just places for trade, but hubs for socialization, entertainment, and cultural exchange. The royal courts fostered intellectual discourse and artistic expression, while the riverfront offered a serene setting for leisure and reflection. It was during these peaceful nights that the true spirit of the Songhai Empire thrived. The sense of community, the appreciation for the arts, and the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. The peaceful knights of the Songhai Empire were a microcosm of the larger African continent, showcasing the richness and vibrancy of its culture, history, and people. And as we bring this episode of Black America and Africa history to a close, we hope that you have enjoyed this glimpse into the world of the. If you want to learn more about the history and culture of Africa, then we invite you to join our growing community. You can follow us on various platforms to get updates on our latest episodes and to engage with us and other history enthusiasts. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to bringing you more fascinating stories from our past. Thank you for watching.